Boo! Did I scare you? Alright, I'm gonna take this shit off now. I can't fucking breathe. Right, now before the video starts, I did say about doing unsolved mysteries. However, I did say I'd have gameplay in the background. But I'm not going to be able to do that because my PS5 won't allow me to download the footage that I recorded. I'll try and get it sorted for the next one, but for now you're just going to have to deal with me. Also, if I'm looking off to the side, it's because I'm reading the script. But yeah, I've got my script up over on this side here, so if I'm not looking at the camera and I'm looking over this way, it's because I'm looking at the script. I am also ill as well, so I don't sound my usual self. But yeah, I wanted to record this video, and to kick off the mysteries, we're talking about a case I've been interested in and I was obsessed with for a little while, and that's the Yuba County 5 case. In February of 1978, 5 young men from Yuba County, California, Gary Matthias, Jack Hewitt, William Sterling, Ted Wieheler, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and Richard Rick Matthias set out for a basketball game. What begins as fun outgoing would quickly turn into a perplexing mystery. On February 24th, they attended a basketball game at California State University, Chico. Afterward, the group decided to stop for some fast food before heading home. Witnesses reported seeing them laughing and enjoying themselves, a typical night out amongst friends. They were last seen around 10 p.m. They had left the university in a blue Mercury Montego. They should have returned home within a couple of hours, but when morning came and there was no sign of them, their families began to worry. An extensive search was launched involving family members, friends, and local authorities for days. They scoured the area, checking roads and trails, but found no trace of the men. I didn't add this into the script, but I should probably say that there was a massive snowstorm that got the search and rescue teams called off, so they weren't found for a very long time. They searched for about a week, but the snowstorm got really bad at one point. The search and rescue teams just had to call off all efforts to find the kids. I say kids, they're not actually kids. We'll get back into that a little bit sooner on. A little bit later on. Fuck me, I can't talk. But yeah, should just add that the search and rescue team was called off quite early because of this massive snowstorm. Finally, on June 4th, 1978, a breakthrough occurred when a group of motorcyclists came across the Mercury Montego abandoned on a remote road near the town of Brownsville. This car was parked in a location that didn't seem fit for their intended route. And I'll probably throw up a picture of the map where home was and where the car was found, because when I seen it for the first time, I thought it was ridiculous. They were meant to be home within like an hour or so, and I don't know why, for what reason, but you'll see in the map where their car and everything ended up doesn't make sense compared to where home was. It doesn't make sense. It wasn't like a shortcut for them to get home. It was more out of the way, if anything. It made them be even longer for getting home, essentially. But yeah, I'll throw a picture up, but it's just, to me, I think it's insane. Inside the vehicle, they found personal belongings including wallets, keys, and a backpack filled with items like food, clothes, and even a pair of tennis shoes. But there was no signs of the men themselves. What was strange was the condition of the car. It seemed they had been there for some time, yet there was no tracks leading away from it. The search would soon expand into the surrounding wilderness, hoping to find clues to their fate. Now, before I go any further, I should probably talk about who was actually involved in this. You have Gary Matthias, 25 years of age. Gary was had a complicated history, including mental health challenges. He had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and was on medication at the time of the disappearance. His friends describe him as friendly and easygoing, although his mental health struggles sometimes affected his social interactions. As the only one of the 5 who has never been found, Gary's disappearance is one of the most enduring mysteries of the case. His family have often spoke about the impact of his absence. Jack Hewitt, 24 years of age, was known as a outgoing personality. He worked at a local grocery store and was well liked in the community. Described as fun-loving and sociable, Jack enjoyed spending time with his friends, especially playing basketball. His disappearance deeply affected his family and his friends, and he will be remembered for his vibrant spirit. William Sterling, or Billy Sterling, 29 years of age, was a quieter individual employed at a local grocery store. He had a calm demeanor and was known for his reliability. While he was more reserved compared to some of his friends, he was kind-hearted and enjoyed participating in group activities, including basketball. The loss of William left a significant void in the lives of those who knew him, particularly his family. Ted Wheeler, I'm still not sure about the pronunciation, and that's my bad. Ted was 32. Ted was known for his gentle nature and had a reputation of being caring and friendly. He loved sports and was enthusiastic about participating in community events. His love of basketball was part of the bond he shared with the group. Ted's family and his friends remembered him fondly, and his disappearance brought attention to the case as it unfolded. And finally, Richard Matthias, or Rick Matthias, was Gary's younger brother. He was close to his family and often participated in activities with his older brother and their friends. Described as friendly, approachable, Rick enjoyed spending time with his friends, particularly in sports and social gatherings. The Matthias family experienced profound grief with the loss of both Gary and Rick, making their story even more tragic. The five men were part of a close-knit group, often engaging in social activities like basketball. Their bond was strengthened by their shared experience and mutual support. They were all well known in their community and had strong ties to friends and family who actively participated in the search efforts after their disappearance. The case has sparked decisions about mental The case has sparked discussions about mental health, particularly regarding how individuals and disabilities can navigate challenges in social situations and emergencies. I just can't talk, but I really can't talk. Now, the mental health factor of this case really shines through, because to an extent, pretty much everyone in this group had some kind of learning disability or mental health condition. But yeah, it really affected the case quite a bit. Like, authorities didn't get involved straight away, as they just said to the families after the families reported them missing. They just said, oh, they're probably out smoking weed, drinking, having fun. But that's not them. Their families knew, and that wasn't them. But the authorities didn't really want to get involved straight away. In October 1978, 4 months after the men went missing, search teams found the remains of 3 of the men, Ted Wheeler, Jack Hewitt, and William Sterling, in a remote area of the Plumas County, in the area of Plumas National Forest. Their bodies were found scattered over a half-mile area. They showed signs of malnourishment and exposure, indicating they had been in the wilderness for an extended period of time. Gary Matthias was never found. I forgot to also add that in the fourth body was also found mummified inside of a safety shelter. However, I can't remember who it was. I've completely fucked it on my script, to be honest. But forgot to mention that he was found mummified inside one of these survival shelters, and it was thought that he was with Gary Matthias, because Gary Matthias's tennis shoes were swapped out for his boots, and on the body they found severe frostbite, and yeah, he must have passed away from just succumbing to his injuries and the wilderness. So what are the theories about this? Well, accidental death in the wilderness. This theory suggests that after abandoning their car, the men became disorientated and wandered into the wilderness. They may have intended to seek help, but instead got lost. To support this theory, the area where the bodies were found was remote and rugged, making it easy for someone unfamiliar with the terrain to become lost. The men may have underestimated the challenges of surviving in the cold, harsh conditions. Critics argue that the conditions were not to serve not so severe, fuck me, I just can't read, that survival would have been impossible for a group of young men, especially since they had food and blankets with them. This theory, possibly, maybe, but I don't think so. Now, the second theory is that foul play was involved. Some theorists believe that the men may have encountered someone dangerous in the wilderness or shortly after leaving the vehicle. This theory posits that they might have been abducted or harmed by a third party. The theory gained traction due to the mysterious circumstances surrounding their disappearance and the lack of clear evidence about their movements. After leaving the car, the absence of Gary Matthias is particularly what has led to the speculation about possible foul play. There has been no evidence to support this theory and no suspects have been identified. Additionally, the area was well travelled by locals, making it less likely for an abduction to occur unnoticed. Now, this theory, if you watch Wendigoons, which is a much better video than this is, to be very honest with you, this is why I became so obsessed with this case, was Wendigoon and Nextpo's covering on this case. But they talk about a guy that followed them up the hill in the first place, beeping his horn, flashing his lights, and this guy was like a drunk and everything. Realistically, go and watch Wendigoon's video, it covers this case much better than I will, but yeah, it's possible, I think it's possible that something happened to them. Someone, I don't know, someone taking them, murdering them, I don't know exactly. Also, there's theories about obviously Gary Matthias being the one that murdered him. Obviously, he didn't have his medication on him at the time, so who knows, but he was the only one that was never found out of the five. But yeah, I'm more inclined to believe something happened to him than nothing. You know, I mean, I don't think it had anything to do with the elements or that. Like, it did to a certain extent, but why did they end up where they did? Did they get chased off the road or, you know, anything like that? I'm not too sure. I think someone else was involved. Now, the mental health factors. Given that some of the men had development disabilities and that Gary Matthias was dealing with schizophrenia, this theory posits that their mental health conditions may have played a role in their disappearances. Some believe that the stress of being lost may have exacerbated their mental health issues, leading to poor decision making. It's possible that their conditions made them more vulnerable to the dangers of the wilderness. While this theory highlights important aspects of mental health, it does not fully explain the specifics of their disappearance, especially the lack of concrete evidence about their last movements. I don't know. I still think, personally, someone was involved. Now, this theory, I just think it's straight up bullshit, to be very honest, but it's on here, so we'll read it. Some have speculated that one or more of the men, may have chosen to disappear intentionally, either to escape their lives or due to mental health crisis. Their theory is based on the idea that given their struggles, one or more might have been overwhelmed and sought of a way out of their current situation. This theory is controversial as it implies a level of predetermination that seems inconsistent with the men's typical behaviours and their plans for the evening. Now that's why I don't believe this. They just wanted to play basketball. I didn't add this earlier, but they went to that basketball game because they had a basketball game the next day, basically. And some of them had led their clothes out, like their basketball attire, they led it out ready, they had their shoes ready, they had all that ready. So for them to just intentionally disappear, I think this theory is just bullshit, to be very honest. Now, this theory is an encounter with a mysterious figure. There have been reports of mysterious figures seen in the area around the time of the disappearances. Some believe the men may have had a negative encounter with Some believe the men have had... I can't read for shit. Some believe the men have had a negative encounter with this individual. Local law has contributed to this theory, with some claiming that strange sightings were reported near the time the men went missing. Again, this has no solid evidence to I can't read that fucking word, and it remains more of a local legend than proven theory. Now, if it's trying to say Bigfoot took him, maybe not, but there's more to this story than just that, you know what I mean? There's more to this story than just that. I feel like someone was involved, someone else, a third party was involved. Now, finally, we'll talk about the unanswered questions, like, about this case, because, I mean, Wendigoon goes into so much more detail than I'm going to, but I just wanted to make this video and actually start off the series that I wanted to. And I'm very interested in this case. I've not described it the best, but there's so many videos about this case that will talk more into detail about it, and that's why I was so interested in this case. But the unanswered questions: why did they leave the car? The car was parked on a road with relatively easy access, yet they chose to leave it and venture into the wilderness. What happened to Gary Matthias? His disappearance remains the most haunting aspect of the case, as he has never been located despite extensive searches. Mental health state. Speculation about their mental health has led to decisions about their survival skills. Discussions. Fuck me, man, I cannot read. Mental health has led to discussions about their survival skills and decision-making abilities in the crisis. Now that there goes to show, like, there's a lot about this case that nobody has a fucking clue about. Just one, their disappearance in general, and then obviously finding only 4 of the bodies out of 5. They've never found his body whatsoever. Gary Matthias, they've never found any trace of him. No one's, like, he didn't just start in a new city or village or whatever. He didn't just go to somewhere else and start under a new name and everything. No one actually knows what the fuck happened to him. But why did they go off course? Why did they not go home? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different questions about this that it's very confusing. But yeah, the Yuba County 5 case has remained a topic of interest for true crime enthusiasts, amateur sleuths and locals. Various documentaries, articles and discussions have kept the mystery alive, with many hoping for the answers to the enduring questions surrounding the case. The tragedy continues to resonate within the community, reminding people of a fragility of life and the mysteries that can emerge for some seemingly ordinary circumstances. Now, I know this wasn't the best video in the world, and I do apologise for that. I just wanted to rush and get this out, so it's not the best, I know that. I will try and get gameplay for the next one, and it will make my life so much easier. But yeah, I do apologise for that. But if you did somehow end up enjoying this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, this kicks off our Halloween mysteries like series that I'm doing. Like I said, I wish I was able to get the gameplay, but for some reason my PlayStation just was not working, wasn't letting me do it. And yeah, I do apologise. This is honestly, I don't know how bad this is going to be when I'm editing it. But yeah, if you did somehow end up enjoying it, it would help out a lot to subscribe and like. I'm trying to hit 1K by the end of this year. If I do manage to do that, I will do a face reveal. But yeah, no, I do apologise if you've watched this all the way through somehow. I don't know how you've done it. But yeah, next time I'll go more in depth into the case. And yeah, if you did enjoy, please like, please subscribe.